So welcome to today's it almost feels like a mini show and tell, a mini chat, a mini wisdom share. It's going to be a mini whatever it needs to be, maybe a weaving of all that. But this is Wednesday where we do members share in the Cosmic Earth Weavers community. And today I'm stepping in to talk about Imbolc and Brigid. This will be about 20 to 30 minutes long. And for those of you that may have the time, at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Nancy and I are coming in. We are going to be live in the community to do the February Sacred Rhythms forecast. So if you have the time, tune back in, stick around, and see what's happening for February. So thank you, everybody that is, I see popping in, saying hi. Kimberly's here. I know Kimberly. She's one of my American friends. We have met a few times in Lilydale, and we have done classes together, courses, workshops there, and she has attended some of my workshops when I have run some. So hi, Kimberly. I see Jessica. I think maybe I saw one other person there drop in just a moment ago. And of course, I am recording this because I'm going to share this one out. Just for people to have a little feel in connecting with Imbolc and Brigid. Now, there is a lot of things going on, at least in my world, that I see the people I know that are doing ceremonies and songs and music and sharing all these different posts. So there's lots of beautiful things out there from so many people that honor the sacred rhythms of the year, honor the wheel of the year, the Celtic wheel of the year. And so I'm just going to do a quick little flow through what that wheel of the year is for us. Now, let me know if, sorry, as I'm getting a little bit of my hair out of my eyes, let me know if you walk with the wheel of the year, you know what it is, or you're like, I'm not really sure, Roberta, what the wheel of the year is. Maybe you've heard it, but you're not 100% sure. Let me know if you can in the comments. Okay, so the wheel of the year, most of us know and grew up with being aware of 4 of the festivals out of the 8 on this beautiful wheel. This wheel works with the cycles of the seasons throughout the years. There's very much an astrological alignment. It's connected with the earth and what the earth is saying and doing. We have the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So even though we're about to celebrate one Sabbath on the wheel, the southern hemisphere is celebrating the opposite because the seasons are shifted. Now, the 4 that we grow up with that we're aware of, it's equinoxes and it's the solstice. So I do this because if you imagine, I should have gotten a diagram somewhere. I have one, but I didn't pull it out. A beautiful picture of the wheel. If you imagine a beautiful wheel here, and this is the top, the north, and then our south, and then our east and west going on here, right? So north, for me, it would be this direction if I was laying it out front to you. But those are what we call the cardinal points, right? Our north and south and east and west. And those are where our solstice and our equinoxes sit. And those are 4 of the points of the wheel of the year. So at the top, at winter solstice, we have Yule, and then we move to the spring and we get Ostera, very closely related to Easter. And then we get down to summer solstice and we have midsummer or Lilith, and we say that a few different ways. And then in the fall, of course, we have the autumn equinox, and we have Mabon there. So those are the 4 solar markers, Sabbaths, festivals of the wheel. But then we have another 4. And these are the fire festivals. And we actually start the wheel at a fire festival. And the first one we start at is Samhain, which is between autumn and winter. So we have Samhain, known as Halloween marker for a lot of us that we grew up. We have Samhain, which is the first fire festival. And then we move up the wheel, of course, hitting that winter solstice. And then we pass that and we get to Imbolc, which is where we are now, which is February 1st, around there that it is celebrated. And I'll tell you why I say around there. So February 1st, Imbolc. And then we get back down to that spring equinox, Ostera, and then we pass that and we get to Beltane or Beltanac. And there's a few ways to say all these depending on the traditions and what heritage line and that language you are speaking. But we get to Beltane. People also know it as May Day, so May 1st, and that is another fire festival, is the third one. And then we pass through summer solstice, heading to August 1st, where we have Lunasa Lunasa. So we have the 8 different Sabbaths of this beautiful wheel. 4 solar that we're very familiar with growing up, most of us, and then the fire festivals. So here we are. Here we are at Imbolc. We are on the eve of it. Tomorrow is considered Imbolc, though I'm going to tell you, there is these dates that shift a little bit. Some people are like, is it the first? Is it second? Depends on certain traditions and things like that. Most commonly that I know say that the general public, if you're celebrating, would say February 1st would be Imbolc, and this would be the eve. But we also have like a true what I like to call the true marker of these fire festivals, because fire festivals are actually in the midpoint of the solstice in the equinox, right? So there's a quarter of the wheel. And of course, those dates come in, right? A little different every year. It's either somewhere between the 20th to the 23rd. So we look astrologically where those hit to be a true astrological date. So actually, this Sunday, the 4th, would be that marker for, if you're following it that way, when Imbolc commences. Now, I want to say we run around thinking these Sabbats are like for one day. We got to get everything done in one day. It is a season. It is a season. They're around 6, 7 weeks long. And so we have that time to nurture and be in the energetics. It is a rhythm, it is the flow, and how we are meeting it, nature and the medicine, everything is meeting us. And how do we live with it? How do we move with it? And so I'm going to focus just on this one right here, between winter solstice and spring solstice. This one here, which is Imbolc. So Imbolc, second fire festival. It's early spring. It's the wakening up. Now, for us that live where I live, and well, I'm in Ontario, and we have snow, we have storms kind of coming in and going out. We think, really, spring? I look outside, there's a lot of snow. But there is awakening deep within. It's a stirring. And I've seen these beautiful pictures, and I'm sure I will be sharing a few over the next day, of like a woman waking up in the earth and stretching, but she's still in the earth, right? In that womb space, but she's waking up, but she's not up yet, right? So the land itself is doing that. It's rhythms, the animals, everything knows, start to wake up from that slumber, the dream time. And we also notice, like in certain places, say in Ireland right now, there are certain things are springing up. So the snowdrops, I've already seen people over there, snowdrops and the crocuses, they start seeing it and feeling it. Here, it can be more of, it's our feeling within ourselves. So a tapping in and going into that space. I'm just going to pause here and see if there's any questions. But you want to know more, Kimberly, I see that. Brigid is your favorite. Hello, Julie, Linda, Marlene. Hello. So in this time of waking up and feeling it within us, that's how we relate to these markers, these Sabbaths, these festivals of the year. We start to feel what our alignment with them and listen deeply. So here with the first awakening of spring, our second fire festival of the wheel, we have a kind of a starting of a passing of a torch, almost the flame in some ways, but it's more of a lighting of a flame, I should say. We have the Kaliak, we have Klakta, and we have the Morgians, like through the winter seasons from Samhain to here, we have them kind of ruling, especially the Caliac, the Winter Queen, the Crone, the wise woman, is there. But now there's like this passing to Brigid and her awakening. So almost right now, Brigid is awakening. Brigid is this beautiful Irish saint and goddess in Ireland, celebrating her. This is I think maybe the second or the third year that they have official St. Bridget's Day that got passed. I remember when the petition was going around signing it, that Ireland to make that St. Bridget's Day, and they have, so they're really honoring. I mean, Bridget has been there walking, she's very alive and palpable in Ireland. And there's if you're anybody that follows Ireland, anything in Ireland, you probably are starting to see these beautiful murals that are been up these last few years, and more are coming up and celebrations. So Brigid, now here's my show and tell part, guys. Brigid, fiery, beautiful red hair. This is one of the artist paintings. I have quite a few of Courtney Davis's paintings. He has an art studio at the Hulatar in Ireland. So Brigid, there's one. Brigid, she has this fiery, beautiful red hair. She's the keeper of the flame, the undying flame. She's also known not only as, of course, we're talking about the goddess and the saint, but she's also been known as the Three Sisters, the triple goddess. She has many sides and facets to her. She is poetry. She is healing. She's the blacksmith. She's midwife. There's so many these beautiful essence. And not only is she the keeper of the flame, which we always think of that, but she is a keeper, guardian of the waterways of water. So she works with that water and the flame. And so in Ireland, there are so many beautiful sites of Brigid's wells. And if you go to Kildare in Ireland, there's beautiful gardens and her well, and it's so much is honoring her. And then we have the sisters that are the real keepers of the flame in Kildare, and the whole history of landing in a birthplace and home place of, Saint Brigid. Now, these are things I keep learning as I keep diving in every year about Brigid and all my times to Ireland. And I have friends over in Ireland they live and breathe, and it is part of them to be of honor and be of service to Brigid, to the land, to the spirits. And anything else that you guys know you want to add to the comments or share, please do that, because growing and there's just so much to Brigid. So I also invite you to go explore a bit about her. So Brigid also at this time, right, she's helping the sun return. We felt the sun start to return, right? When we have winter solstice, that's when we say the sun starts returning, the days start to get longer. And so she's also calling back the sun, and she's ruling over these next few seasons. And some would even say that she rules kind of like there's a passing right now, like of I almost see it and feel it like the Caliac, the wise woman, is having that mentoring, that chat, and chatting with her and waking her up. And then when spring, she's springing up. And then by Beltane, which is our third fire festival, May Day, May 1st, she is really prominent in feeling her and seeing her everywhere, right? Everything's blooming. She's the main, she looks after, like I said, the midwives, the children, fertility, like all of these beautiful things. So right now there's almost this passing and mentoring as she's waking up, and soon Caliac, right, she will go to sleep. She will sit and be within, we can say, almost like the underworld, and And then we have Brigid coming up. So there's this movement and a dance through the wheel with those two. But Brigid can be seen with that triple goddess through the different parts of our higher sun seasons that we see of the wheel. So Imbolc can be spelled a few different ways. I typically spell it Imbolc. You can put a G on there if you would like. It means like in the belly, in the belly. And I always say like it's in the wound, you're in the wound. That's a really good place to remember, kind of like the essence in there, waking up, stirring birth, right? Ready to be birthed soon. And what else do I want to talk about, Brigid and Imbolc? I had a few other things, these beautiful little pieces of artwork. These ones I was gifted from Courtney last time I was in Ireland. These just beautiful. This one says the Angel of Tara, but this beautiful fiery red hair and the falls, the water. And then this one here. This one's the Mother Earth one. You see her. So there's so many things I could share. I just want to look at my time because, okay, I'm doing good. Things that you could do for yourself. If you're someone that has an altar, this is a beautiful time to clean up your altar, freshen it up, put things of Imbolc season or Brigid on it, the fire, the flame, the red, the yellow, the gold, the orange colors, right? Something is awakening, the energy is awakening. Having a Brigid flame, having something that reminds you or speaks to you of Brigid. Like when I do my altar today, I will have some of these pieces on my altar of her. I also have some Brigid crosses. So we have one that is above our door, and that's a big thing right now, making the Brigid cross. Lots of YouTube videos out there. I'll probably share one with you guys, and having that there, honoring some water, like I said, the flame, writing, what is awakening, what you can feel, placing that on your altar. And the other thing that a lot of people do, and I've already I shared someone's post, Jane, who I have shared her artwork and her oracle card. She does the Caliac, the Wisdom of the Caliac cards. And so Jane in Ireland, I did a post today about the cloth that you put out tonight. Now, put it out tonight or put it out tomorrow, whatever feels good for you. I usually do it on the eve. This is the one I've been using for quite a few years. You can put any kind of cloth you want or piece of clothing, but it's considered ribbons. Brigid walks the grounds, the lands tonight, right? And we put this out at night. And if they would say, it's gathering the morning dew. No, we're not going to get any morning dew here. Unless something, we're in Canada and the weather's really wonky. But crystals are possibly some snowflakes, but it's the gathering the essence and energy of her walking, awakening in the land and the blessing, and then she's a healer, right? So this becomes your Brigid's cloth, your robe, your wrap. It's used for healing. If I've used mine when I have not been feeling well, you can have strips, and people use the strips in the material. Like if someone has a headache or injury, they would wrap that around that. Say if I had an injury here, they would wrap the cloth around there or the head, and it's kept in a place that you only use it for those things. So I will be putting my beautiful, it's really big. It's a big wrap. I love the color of it. It's nice and light material, very flowy. And I will be putting that out tonight, and putting my intentions, my wishes, and calling forth Brigid and asking for her blessings and her healing and support for this next year with my beautiful, this is more of a full wrap around I could use for myself, but you could use a few different pieces, whatever calls to you. So that's something you could do tonight. And like I said, You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get around, or I can't find the piece of cloth or whatever it is. You can always do it tomorrow night too. Um, so I highly recommend that one. Trying to think of anything else I really want to talk to you guys about. Good morning, Tara. Hello. Do you guys have any questions about Brigid or Imbolc or other things to be doing? Seeds. If you have your seeds, I'm just trying to think of some things you can put in your altar. This is the time to start nurturing your seeds you're going to plant for your garden. So you could have those on your altar because they're starting to be cared for and nurtured in, say, in their packages, whatever you have them in, and have them there because you're getting ready, right, for the next Sabbath, which is Ostera. Start your pre-planting for some of you that do that in the house. We start doing that. And so you can nurture and care and put your seeds there. In some stores, I haven't been really out in a grocery store or flower shop right now, but we start to see the plants, the spring plants sometimes we can buy, right? So if you see those, I see them, I think here a little bit closer to Easter, but sometimes everything's getting out so early right now. But even putting one of those plants, like the daffodils, um, on your altar too, and caring for that, right? It's symbolizing the crocuses. We start seeing the little pots of crocuses. You could put that on your altar too. Just think of anything else. I mean, there's so many things. I have a few people coming here, some friends and that tomorrow. I'm actually having a lovely in my house ceremony. And so I'm going to let my brain and let my mind and let Brigid herself step in and let me know if there's anything else I need to share with you guys in this time, in this space. I do want to share this card. A lot of you know this card because it's from this deck, the Keepers of the Light. Kyle Gray's deck is one of his first ones. It might have been his second deck. But last night when I was teaching with Athena for You Are the Channel, we were doing Archangel Michael last night. And I just had this, I had to go get I heard like, go get that deck off my shelf. And I did. I opened up the box and there was Michael right on the top and then Brigid. So I'm just going to read a little bit of stuff here, a message for us from Brigid from this deck. If I can, without wherever my reading glasses would be. As you know, you start aging when you can't read things. So inner strength, move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. So Brigid is a Celtic goddess of Ireland who is closely associated with fire and the time of spring. She's the twin flame or Carnassus, could be saying that completely wrong. She was so well loved by the Celtic people that when Christianity, see, that's what I have to talk about. When Christianity came into Ireland, she was adopted as a saint of the holy wells and other holy places. She is a powerful figure who can help us channel our energy into something that is important for our growth. You can call her in, ask her to work with you if there is something you're wanting to grow, to bloom, to get that energy, to get the clarity, get the focus, get the movement, okay? And she herself has lasted through the ages. She adds longevity to our journey that we have been, to our journey so that we can reach a deep state of wholeness. Time, patience, the journey, the knowledge, moving it in, embodiment to wisdom. I'm just going to add my own little notes to this. You can call on her to bring her sacred flame to burn away anything that is not serving you. to bless any new projects you have in mind and for support also with fertility. So fertility also, right, which is that growing, the birthing, the creation, and whatever that may be and feel like for you. Now there is more messages here. I'm just going to see. Okay, so the extended message says, your spiritual fire is growing within. Recognize that the power of your soul is greater than you think. You have come a long way since you began this journey. There is a powerful force within you, and you have the ability to create wonderful changes in your own life and inspire those around you to do the same. Be aware of new projects, opportunities, fertile ideals that can grow into something larger than you can may even imagine. Call on the fiery goddess Brigid to light the way ahead. Ah, beautiful. So Brigid. When I say, she was originally, the goddess of the land, and very powerful, very well known, many stories with her. And then when Christianity came and St. Patrick, they blended in with St. Bridget nicely. They nicely, they wove like the goddess and the saint have been interwoven and became even more powerful. And it was to bring in those that honored the goddess Bridget and those with Saint Bridget, and how powerful the two together can be. So you have your goddess, you have your saint, you have the entwinement, the embodiment, the weaving of things in a black cat. I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, buddy. Oh, there we go. So that's where we get the goddess and the saint. So do remember her. Think of her with the fire, the flame, the awakening, the rival spring, but also the waters. So not altar, if you do one, honor the water. Have a little bowl of water, right? Honoring her. And for those of you that are going to Ireland with me, and we have a couple spots, I'm going to put that in. There's still 2 spots left. Definitely going to be collecting some water from some of the Brigid wells there. And I love using that. And anybody that's been in circle and workshops and various things with me knows I pull out my sacred tools, my waters from so many different places. So we'll be bringing back some of that, but you can bless your water and call her in with whatever water you have. It'd be beautiful if you can go outside and get some water from a river or stream or something to bring that into and ask for the blessing of Brigid. And you could add certain things to it that remind you of spring. So any essential oils or flower essence that remind you and feel like spring and awakening. So could you use moon water? For sure, you can use moon water. Now, because it's sacred and holy and those things, I would say, you most likely probably did your moon water, right? For maybe the last full moon. Maybe you could use that, but I would say for me, I would want to use the next full moon, or be adding parts of those moon waters, the full moon waters, continuously during this season, right? And then even into spring, you could do that kind of thing, adding and mixing power of the moon water, but you want to bring in the light too for this. So, our moon is that woman, the intuition and that, and seeing. It'd be great scouring a water bowl if you have that, Kimberly. That would be wonderful to use. But also put a little light and fire with her, or use it with something that's going to fire up too with the moon water to give it essence of light, because of having it in the nighttime. Does that make sense to you? And I always say to everybody, do what makes best, or what feels right for you, what feels aligned for you. Check in, know thyself, right? Listen, ask Bridget to guide you. What would you like me to do with my water? What kind of candle would you like? Things like that. So I know there's some lovely candles out there that people have made of St. Bridget too, that you can use and buy, or ones that have just been anointed with various things, Bridget oils and the water and that to add to it. So Just gonna check my time. I think, okay, perfect. I'm right at my time. It's been 30 minutes. So blessings on this Imbolc Eve through the Imbolc season, right? So March sometime, around the 20th. I don't know quite the date of Ostara. That's when we go into the next season. So blessings. If you have any questions, you want to share anything, especially here in the Cosmic Earth Weavers community, feel free to do that. And for those of you that will be live in person with me tomorrow evening, I'm looking forward to that. And if anybody wants to go a little deeper, I'm just going to put this in. It was just announced yesterday. If anybody wants to go a little deeper with the sacred rhythms, the sacred cycles, I am starting in 3 weeks a program that's over 12 weeks that's going to do the whole year, the Wheel of the Year teachings. It's going to have my astrology, my foundational intuitive astrology in it. It's going to have medicine wheels. It's going to have archetypes. So if you want to go, and has the moon wisdom and the phases, all these things, rituals, ceremonies in there to live and walk and feel that sacred rhythm. So know that that's starting in 3 weeks on the 21st, I think, of February. It's a Wednesday. If that's of interest, and Nancy going to be supporting me with that, which is, you guys all should probably know Nancy here in this community, but something else to support you on your journey. Thank you for joining me. See you maybe in half an hour for the February forecast with Nancy and I.